Okay, hello, hello. Doing a test stream on YouTube. So let's give this a shot.
Let's kick shell!
Probably stream for like an hour, maybe two at most.
Pizza time!
Bang, 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 bang. Alright, stream health looking good. It's kind of weird because it starts out saying that there's a problem, like the frame rate is too high, even though the frame rate is only 60. It says the frame rate is too high for a while and that the stream health is good. And then it went up to excellent even though nothing changed.
Terminate the turtle.
Yeah, when it goes that high, you gotta switch the strat a little bit.
Pizza time! Alley Cat Blue!
Bang, 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 bang. Throw the screen a little too much there. I guess that was all the robots.
Pizza time!
Interesting. They're not normally able to anti-air you like that. That's fine.
Pizza time.
Alright.
I'm going to mangle you green slime balls.
Alright, stream health still seems stable. Let's see how it handles the next level, which is an auto scroller.
Sewer serpent.
That was poorly timed. Now I gotta do the rest of this a little bit sharper. Couldn't see him because of the explosion. Okay. Managed to do that without the first pizza. Okay. Alright, flashing lights. Epilepsy warning, don't look if you're epileptic. I always close my eyes too, because I just don't like the flashing. Oof. Really bad. So getting grabbed is like the worst thing that could possibly happen to you. I literally lost half of my health in just that sequence of getting grabbed. Now it's very, very difficult to recover from this. This version of the game does not have a pizza at the entrance to the cave. Which means I would have to be very, very on point if I want to recover from this. Let's go. I know you guys are there. Stop giving me the sidekick. There we go. Mistakes were made. Okay. Hey, Dom Porculio, Cowabunga, what's up? Doing YouTube stream testing. I normally stream on Twitch, so I'm just giving this a shot, see how it goes. YouTube suggested the stream. That's good. I'm not really sure how live stream discoverability is on YouTube. I imagine it might be better than Twitch because discoverability on Twitch is not very good, unfortunately. I know YouTube's discoverability for videos is much better. Not really sure too much about YouTube streaming, so hence the point of testing it out. The quality is a lot better. Like YouTube allows for like much higher quality, which I like. I like that very much. I'm a bit of a quality fiend.
Pizza power!
It's actually pretty helpful those guys came on a delay. Alright, I think the bomb is dropping now. Okay, no, the next one. Okay, I would have died either way there. But, something there was not right. Something there was not right with the audio. I'm gonna have to look that. I wonder if playing the game, because right now, just for the purposes of like the stream setup, I'm playing the game in windowed mode instead of full screen. I think that might actually be affecting something with like the bomb drop. Probably better than Twitch. Already subscribed. Yeah, it probably. Well, thanks for that, first of all. But yeah, it probably does prioritize subscribers. If you're subscribed, then you probably already have seen like my Turtles in Time videos. I think. Oh, I might have to change this up. It was a good thing I'm doing testing. We'll keep going. Normally I would reset if I take a death here, but we'll keep going because we're just doing testing right now. I gotta test this on stage 5. So this game, in case it's not clear what happened, this game has a time limit. It's just hidden. It's you have 5 minutes to finish a level, and if 5 minutes passes up, a bomb will drop from the sky and kill you. Because yeah, the game is like that. So because I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, usually it takes, like, once you get to stage 4, it takes longer to actually finish the stages. So it's pretty much a guarantee that on stages past stage 4, you're gonna get the bomb. Fortunately, there is a way to dodge it, but it requires knowing exactly when the bomb is gonna drop. But I think because I'm playing in windowed mode, maybe it didn't actually, because I've noticed on a different emulator that the timing, like the audio timing, is not emulated properly, and it causes the bomb to not drop at the correct moment. This is MAME, yeah. MAME, I've verified that MAME does actually do it correctly, the way it's supposed to do in like the original arcade. But I'm not sure if that applies to windowed mode, so I gotta pay attention on this level. It's either that or maybe something funky happened with like something else happened, because the bomb did not drop at the moment it was supposed to. Do not like that guy shooting from all the way over there. Need him to get closer. I'm a little cold right now because there's a cold front passing by, and I don't have my heater turned on. Trying to conserve some energy, hoping the heat generated by the computer will make up some of that. But it's a little chilly in my place right now. Okay. Yeah, that was a trap. It's actually not easy to play this game when it's cold. Maybe I should turn the heater on. Even if I turn the setting down a bit. So I'm trying, I'm just trying to de-rust at the game a little bit, because it's been like a few months since I've played. And this is the kind of game where you really have to be in practice if you if you want to be successful at it. I do have a challenge that I'm trying to do in this game, but I put it off because I was having trouble capturing the audio since I switched my operating system to Linux. And I was able to figure out capturing audio for literally everything else except MAME. I was like stuck on how to do that. But I finally figured out a method that works really effectively. So now I'm able to actually capture the audio on Linux for this game, and my challenge that I'm going to be doing is a single button press. So basically not allowed to do moves that use 2 buttons. And I'm going to have an exception to that. Yeah, I'm going to turn this heater on. I'm kind of like starting to shiver here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I have experience with like multiple operating systems because I actually have a Mac as well. Um, but the issue is, I had a Windows PC with more recent hardware, and Macs are, Macs are not really easily upgradable. So, I had Windows 11 on my gaming PC for a while, and I just got sick of Microsoft trying to force feed AI and all this other bullshit. And just in general, I've been trying to support like FOSS more, like free and open source software. Been trying to support that more, and I'm like, you know what? I can just install Linux on like an external drive and just go with that. Especially since gaming on Linux is like, it's in a really good spot now. There's something like 90% at least of the games that you can play on Windows are playable on Linux. So, and I haven't looked back. I have not looked. The only time I went back to Windows is when I wanted to check a setting for something I had that I wanted to duplicate on my Linux side. That's the only reason I went back. But then I had to relearn, like, okay, well, how do I do my streaming stuff? How do I do my audio capture? All that stuff I had to like relearn how to do it. I need some time for the heater to kick in. Huh? Is it not this one? Okay. That confirms it. That confirms it. So I can't play this game in windowed mode. For some reason, it's causing the audio to be offset, and the bomb is not dropping at the correct moment. Okay, well, good thing I figured that out now instead of while I was attempting some challenge down the line. So yeah, that's a bug. That's not supposed to happen. All right. Which Linux are you using? I am using Elementary OS, which is pretty much designed for simplicity. It's not designed to be like complicated and hard to figure out. It's really good. I like it. It is a derivative of Ubuntu. So yeah, Elementary OS. It's cool. I really like it. What's up, Donut Sama? How are you? Just in time for the bomb? Yeah, the bomb that didn't drop when it was supposed to. So I'm gonna I have to change this. So yeah, I'm gonna kill that, and now I have to go and into my main settings. Wait. So we're gonna start over. Okay, yeah. So I was trying to explain the challenge that I have coming up for this game. So if you guys have seen my Turtles in Time videos, you know I do a lot of like 1cc's for the game. And my most recent ones were like the max rank, like deathless max rank 1cc's on very hard mode. Well, I decided that I haven't suffered enough, so I'm going to be playing, or I'm going to be attempting, single button challenge. So essentially, can only press one button at a time. I can't do any moves that use two buttons simultaneously. So the DP, which is like the up kick that has invincibility, nothing like the reverse shoulder, stuff like that is not allowed. The only thing I'm making two exceptions to this, and this is just to test the waters for now. I'm going to be allowing buffered DPs, which is helpful for escaping enemy combos. You can buffer a DP during hit stun, which helps you escape. So I'm going to start the challenge allowing that. And then the other exception is I'm allowed to use the DP to dodge the timer bomb. But for everything else, I can only use attacks that use one button. I can't use any two button attacks to actually hit enemies. So that's going to be the upcoming challenge. But for now, I'm just doing YouTube stream testing just to see how it goes. So I got to come here to my ini file for Turtles in Time and change. It might be video actually. Okay, because I changed the video to auto or to OpenGL. Okay, we're gonna change one thing at a time. So I'm gonna change the video to auto, and we're gonna do this again. Instead of playing full screen, I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this one thing, right? And that's it. Because I know I've played this game 1,000 times in full screen, and I know the timing is correct in full screen. But that was before I changed this setting. So I'm going to change this back to auto. And we're going to try it in windowed mode again with this. Actually, I got to change the main ini file too, just in case. I don't think it's using this one. But just in case, I don't want to take any chances. We'll do this. This will help me know if it's using this one or not. Okay, it's not using that one. All right, let's go ahead and recapture this. Yeah, it took me a while to figure out how to do all my stuff on Linux. Suffer for our enjoyment. Yeah, it's I hope I mean, okay, like if I'm just doing like regular 1cc's for the game, I'm used to it, right? But the single button, I'm telling you, the single button challenge is hard. I've already tested it. It is hard. But I think it is technically possible. So I'm gonna give it a shot fairly soon. It is handicapped. Yeah, it is handicapped. All right. Just yep. So stream health still good. All right, cool. So now what I'm testing, other than the YouTube stream, I'm testing the timer bomb on windowed mode. Just to see. So I changed the video mode. Instead of OpenGL, I put auto. I don't think that's actually gonna affect this, to be honest with you, because I think it defaults to OpenGL. So I might still have this problem. I might just... So the reason I wanted to play in windowed mode instead of full screen is because I'm able to capture the video of the game in OBS with like integer scale, and it makes the game look a little bit sharper. So the quality is a little better as opposed to capturing it full screen, and then I gotta resize it in OBS, and then it doesn't look as clear. But I'll do it that way if this interferes with the actual gameplay. Hello, I want to learn how to play Turtles in Time, but I'm an amateur player. Yeah, awesome. If you want to learn how to play, I would highly recommend checking out my well, for various reasons, I haven't made any more tutorial videos, but I have a couple tutorial videos that can help you get started on my channel. But honestly, most of learning it is going to be from like watching my actual 1cc's that I've put up. I have a lot of videos of those. And just a lot of practice. Just like watch that stuff. Obviously you can ask me questions if you want to know things. So that's a good option. But yeah, a lot of practice. Watch the 1cc video, ideally the more recent the better, because they'll have like more updated strats. I would recommend starting with the European version of the game first, because it's the easiest version. Start with that because it's easier, and start on easy mode, and then once you have that, if you can do a 1cc under those conditions, then you can kind of like steadily increase the difficulty and all that.
Terminate the turtle.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Listen, I'm always down to help people if they want to learn how to play this game, because this game is not very popular. It was popular in arcades back in the day, but like these days, nobody really cares. But I'm always up for helping people learn how to play the game, because for a long time, a lot of people thought this game was just kind of impossible, and it's not. So it just takes a lot of work. it's just not an easy game. That's just all it is. The game is just very vicious, and it takes probably more effort than most people are willing to put in. But if you enjoy the game and you're willing to put in that effort, then I'm always willing to help out.
Pizza time.
Yeah, arcade games famously have a lot of different versions. There are even some versions that we didn't even know about until recently. Like in the past 1 or 2 years, they found like some ROM dumps of the game that we didn't know about. Of course, having different ROM dumps is not the same as having a different version of the game, but it just kind of goes to show you that they weren't all known. But there, as far as we know, there are 3 primary versions of the game. There's North America, Europe, and Asia. Those are the three different versions that you can find. The European and Asian versions are significantly easier than the North American version, which is the original one. So this version of the game that I'm playing, North American, was made first, and then the Asian version was made after, and then European, and they were made to be a little bit better balanced. They're easier because the balance is better. That's why they're easier. So, for all intents and purposes, they are the more fair versions to play.
I'm going to mangle you green slime balls.
Pizza time.
Never played a beat 'em up with a DP? Yeah, this game has a DP and you need it. Definitely need it. Konami loved making any games way harder. Yeah, I don't know. It was definitely a Konami thing. But there were some other games like that. It's like what's an example where like well, I mean, Konami made The Simpsons, and The Simpsons is like that too. It's harder. It's harder. But like even like on console, this was a thing. So like, I think there's some RPGs, right? Like for Super Nintendo, there are like some RPGs that were like harder in the English version. I don't know why they would do that. But then some of them went in the other direction. Like I think Final Fantasy IV was harder in the Japanese one and easier in it. Like, so some of them reversed it. Like, I don't know why they do that. Almost seems like an insult. Like, oh, your people are not good enough to beat this game. You have to be like us. I don't know if that's the reason, but it's easy to draw that conclusion. Just okay, it's starting to warm up a little bit in my place.
Pizza time.
So a little bit less on the shivering. Oh, no, that was a mistake. Fortunately, didn't get punished for it. Beat the monster, back kick him. Gonna have another gate coming up. Oh, very bad. You don't want to get hit with those lunge kicks they do, because they do 3 bars of your health instantly. And the way health works in this game is you don't normally take instant damage from most attacks. Usually you have to get hit 3 times, but there are exceptions to that. Some attacks will hit you instantly and will knock you down. You basically take damage when you get knocked down. Okay, I'm fine with that.
Pizza time.
Oh wow, that motherfucker caught me from over there. Yeah, these guys have two different timings, by the way. They can either go higher up and delay when they move forward, or they can move forward like quickly, like lower to the water. So it gets a little tricky. They like mix it up. Capcom loved that too. Yeah, I think Breath of Fire. I think the English version was harder for some reason. Just thinking about it. Battletoads, NES, easier in Japan. Yeah. Thankfully, they don't really do things like that with games anymore. The games have there's more parity between games now. US console games were made harder because of the rental market. Yeah, I can believe that. I definitely rented games when I was a kid. So that, and they always had that level. It was usually like the third or fourth level. That was the rental level. Like the level was designed so that you could just die, so that kids would not be able to beat the game easily, so that the parents would have to just keep renting the game. We call those the rental levels. That like there was those games, man, back in like the 90s, those games they had rental levels. It was always like level 2 or 3 or 4 or something, like one of those. FF4 was made easier because there weren't many RPGs in the US. Yeah, I mean I could see the train of thought there. Yeah, I'm not really sure about arcade games as far as the difficult. Like, okay, like in terms of like with this game, it makes sense because the changes weren't to they didn't make change. Well, nah. The changes were like balance changes, right? It wasn't really, as far as I know, it wasn't really like changes in targeting a demographic of players. It was more like, oh, we realize that these aspects of the game are kind of fucked up, so maybe we should change them to make a little bit more sense. Bro, I got grabbed here and lost half my health the last time. Literally the same thing happened to me again. If you guys didn't know, getting grabbed is awful because any damage you take while you're grabbed is instant damage. You take 2 bars of your health instantly per hit, and even if you manage to escape the grab without getting hit, the next time you get hit, you take instant damage even if you were at full health. So yeah, even just the act of getting grabbed winds up reducing your health, even if you didn't take a hit from the grab, from like while you were grabbed. It's pretty trash. And there's not a lot of counterplay. There's technically only one way to avoid getting grabbed, and that's if you happen to be in the air and you do like the falling strike like this, and the guy's like right underneath you. Problem is, there's no tell. There's no tell for when they're gonna try and grab you, other than the fact that they start moving on the ground really fast. And like visually, it doesn't look any different from their normal movement. It's just faster. And there's really no way to react to it. So it's just very, very unfair, the grab. So you just kind of have to kind of try and be more consistent for the rest of the stage. Water level consider a rental level? Yeah, I would say that. Although, like, even like with these, with like, okay, like this game, because a lot of the console games were kind of modeled after arcade games. And arcade games obviously you have the arcade business model. So of course you're gonna have that level that's a pain in the ass to get through when you're new to the game. And with this game, I would definitely say sewer surfing, because you got all these traps and like the gates and stuff. You don't know where they are the first time you play. So sewer surfing is definitely the coin eater level when you're new to this game. And then the real game starts once you get to this stage. I think I'm going a little slow in this level. The bomb might drop soon. Okay, I think it's the next one. But yeah, when they made console games and they wanted to make, you know, they wanted to kind of capitalize off of the design and the success of arcade games, they're like, oh, well, we can, you know, once players own this game, we can't keep making money off of them unless they're renting. So we got to make the rental level. And that the rental level is like the console equivalent of the coin eater level. It's full screen. I gotta play the game full screen. For some reason, playing in windowed mode makes the audio not move at the correct speed. The game's audio, and this happens, by the way, this happens like because you can play this game on Fightcade. If you guys know about Fightcade, you can play co-op on Fightcade. But Fightcade doesn't use MAME, it uses a different emulator. And I've done lots of testing on that emulator, and I have confirmed that the bomb does not drop correctly on that emulator. The audio is not played at the correct speed, and the audio is what I use to know when the bomb is going to drop. So, now I'm going to restart the game. It sucks because I would really like to get to stage 5 and like get past stage 5, but that's we're doing testing here. This is all test stuff, so because once I actually do this challenge, I don't want any bullshit. So we're gonna do Windows 0, and that's gonna be the one change that I make. And play full. The thing is, I'm gonna have to change in OBS. I gotta change the Okay, so it is full screen now. All right, so let's come over to OBS, and we're gonna have to change our thing here. You know what? I'm gonna make. Oh.
Pizza power!
Why does it sound like that? You hear that? It's like crackly. The audio of the game is crackly.
Let's kick shell!
Okay, now it's not. Now it's normal. What the fuck? Alright, we are going to... I'm gonna turn that off. I'm gonna make a new one, actually. I don't want to change the settings of that one. So what we have to do... Screen capture, pipe wire. Full screen. And now I'm gonna have to change. Oh, that sucks. So yeah, that covers the whole thing. Oh wait. Do that so that I can actually see. No. Let's get in game. Okay. Now I gotta edit this. Except it looks weird. This is kind of like the... I had it before to where because I used to capture it in full screen before. Now I gotta do this. I can always optimize this afterward. Let's see if I do this. Yeah, some of it is cut off. Oh, it's because yeah, because of this. This is what I get for wanting to actually have the game look higher quality on the stream. How dare you? How dare you want the game to look better on the stream? Do that. And the problem is the way the way it's done in full screen on Linux is not like whenever I tab out of the game in full screen, the actual image shifts in OBS and it looks weird. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna do this preview. Just bear with me a moment so that I can make sure. I'm not gonna try and make it look perfect. I can always do this off stream. I just want to make sure it looks okay and it's not like cutting. Okay. Yeah, there's still some black on the sides, but I can always correct that another time. Or, you know what? Fuck. Closed the game by mistake. Why couldn't it just... Why couldn't the emulator just have the correct timing in windowed mode? Why couldn't it just do that? Instead, now I gotta go through this crap. Okay, now I gotta capture it again because it technically is frozen. Capture it again. Do that. Let's see. Okay. It's still like a few pixels off. That looks pretty good. I can verify it. I can verify it another time, but yeah, that looks pretty good. Now I just move this a little bit over here. Okay, I'm gonna move this to where I want it to be. Full screen. And add I gotta add a render delay to it. Pretty sure it was 96. Okay. So now that I have that. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Okay. Like, honestly, I prefer playing the game in full screen. It's just, it's not at integer scale, so it's not going to look as good on the stream in terms of the quality, and I like higher quality. But it'll still look good. Okay, now, if the timer bomb doesn't drop at the correct time now, something's up. Because I played this game recently and it was correct. Alright. Let me know if anything looks funky on the stream, like if the game doesn't look correct. Because I'm looking at my preview and it looks fine to me. But yeah, as I was saying before, if you decide that you want to play this game on Fightcade, because it has, you know, it has a good co-op. The co-op is better than the Cowabunga collection, for sure, because it has rollback netcode. Just be aware that if you're trying to do a 1cc, the timer bomb does not drop at the correct time, because Final Burn Neo does not emulate the game's audio at the correct speed. Which seems to be the case for MAME if you play it in windowed mode, which I was not aware of that. Also, I don't know if you caught that, but Leo's horizontal slash, that move, it hits behind him. And I hit a guy just now with that. So Leo actually gets a little bit of coverage. He gets a little bit of protection behind him.
Terminate the turtle.
Pizza time.
Ugh.
Alley cat blue.
Bam, bam. Bam, ba-dam, ba-dam. Bam, ba-dam, 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 bam, ba-dam, ba-dam. So it's not immediately obvious what I'm doing here, but there's a technique in this game. I call it whiff canceling.
Pizza time.
So when you use a strike, right, which is just like your basic move, if you whiff the enemy, like if you don't hit anyone, you can actually cancel the recovery of it by holding up or down. So it actually makes the move recovery safer And that's extremely helpful because it makes it so that if you accidentally get, or not accidentally, if you randomly get the sidekick, right? There's a sidekick that the turtles will do sometimes. That sidekick is horrible. It has terrible range, and it winds up missing a lot. So oftentimes you just wind up getting punished for it. And by the way, we talked about coin eater levels. The sidekick is a coin eater attack. It is designed on purpose to be bad, so that you can just sometimes just randomly get hit. That's why that move doesn't come out that much. It's like, oh, on occasion, you just get fucked if you're not within range. You have to be very close to enemies to hit them with it. There's also a manual sidekick you can do, which has slightly different frame data. There's the sidekick. There's a different version of that kick that has slightly different frame data, but you can do it on command. It's a landing sidekick. So if you press the attack button right before landing from a jump, you get that kick. Which also sucks, by the way. They both suck. But the landing sidekick actually comes out 2 frames faster, believe it or not. Sidekick is a 7-frame startup. The landing sidekick is 5-frame startup. And that sounds good, but it still has the same range problem.
Pizza time. Sewer surface.
So yeah, if you do the whiff cancel, you cancel the recovery of your strike, and you basically make them safer if you wind up not hitting the enemy. And that's extremely helpful if you get a random sidekick. You can cancel the recovery of the sidekick quickly. So you're far less likely to get punished for it.
Pizza time.
I think the music is still off. I think it's still off. Because the pizzas didn't appear at the right point in the music. Yeah, the music's off. It's not synced correctly. What happened? I mean, I've been playing the game, even though I haven't been able to stream the game. You know, there are times when I pop the game on, like, just to kind of like chill, and the music has been fine. But now it's not, and I haven't updated MAME at all. I haven't made any changes. I wonder... No, it's not a delay thing, too. I was like, okay, maybe my audio capture method is causing a delay, but it can't be causing a delay in terms of the sounds. Like this is a music sync issue, not audio latency. Because if it was audio latency, then I should be able to notice it with like all the sound effects. But all of the sound effects are correct. Like the timing, the sync of the sound effects, like when I hit enemies, all of that is correct. So it's not my audio capture. My audio capture is not... can't be influencing the sync offset in the game itself. That's an emulation issue. Alright, flashing. Epilepsy warning.
Patience is wearing thin. I'm banishing you to a time warp.
Prehistoric.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to try and figure this out afterward, to be honest. Okay, so it might be a setting in the ini file that maybe I changed and I just forgot that I changed it. Mistiming a lot here. Yeah, so I'm just gonna have to deal with the variation. At least I know, like, the bomb is gonna drop shortly after the point in the music where it's normally supposed to drop. Bro, he came straight up. They don't normally do that. They don't normally just move straight up like that. They normally try to go off to the side a little bit, like either to the left or right. These guys are a little bit easier to deal with because they have more like predictable movement patterns. Hold on. The light is working correctly. The light is working correct. What? When did they make that change? That was a bug in MAME for years. When did they make that change? Okay, that's crazy. I haven't updated my MAME in a while. Okay. Since I died, I'm gonna restart. I wasn't planning on restarting, but since I died, let me check the file again. So it's using this file here. Now, as far as audio is concerned, sample rate is normal. Um, okay, it's not this sync refresh option, right? Let me see. Sync refresh. Yeah, refresh. Enable speed throttling only to the refresh of your monitor. This means that the system's actual refresh rate is ignored. The game system refresh rate is ignored. However, the sound code still attempts to keep up with the system's original refresh, so you may encounter... Yeah, but that's off, right? Which is what you want. I mean, you want it to be off. And then video options, yeah, auto, Windows 0. I don't have VSync, and I don't have the sync refresh, right? Oh, it could be... Wait, per window video options. I'm going to change this back to auto, even though it's not using the resolution, because I set it back to full screen. We'll give it a shot. Change one thing at a time, just to see. I don't think that's the issue, but I kind of want to rule it out. All right, give this another shot. And we'll come here as well.
Let's kick shell!
Yeah, sometimes it might have to do with my virtual device. 'Cause now this says like sometimes it's crackling. I might have to change that.
Let's kick shell! Let's kick shell!
Yeah, you hear that crackling, right?
Let's kick shell!
Hmm. What if I do this? What if I close this? And then do this? You probably won't be able to hear the game now. Okay, no crackling now. But now you can't hear the game. Oh, no, okay. So that now there's crackling again. And so this is not the cause. This is not the cause.
Let's kick shell!
What if I do that?
Let's kick shell!
No, that doesn't fix it. Hmm.
Let's kick
You're
shell.
gonna hear Let's Kick Shell for a while.
Let's kick shell.
I might have. I gotta check the last time I updated MAME because I've never had a problem. Never had a problem with the audio desync. Like it's like very subtle. I actually have a video about this very problem on the Cowabunga collection on YouTube. It's the video really, it just showcases it. It showcases the full timer, like the 5 minutes. And I don't explain anything in the video. I don't even talk in the video. It's literally just showing the two versions, MAME and Cowabunga collection, side by side, and the audio. And you can see that there's an audio off sync in the Cowabunga collection. Never had that problem on MAME. Now all of a sudden, I'm having this issue on MAME, and I haven't done anything. Like as far as like updating MAME.
Let's kick shell.
Okay, now it's normal. Now the audio is normal. But I'm still gonna have to solve that problem off stream. The off sync. That sucks. I was excited because I just recently figured out finally how to capture this game's audio. And now it's giving me these issues. All right. I'll play for a little bit more.
Let's kick shell.
Actually, let's play with Raph.
Let's kick shell.
It really sucks. It really sucks that I ran into some new issue, and this is actually a pretty big problem for this game specifically. Bam, 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 bam.
Pizza time.
That's fine, he gets despawned.
Prepare to die.
I might have actually updated MAME, and maybe the updated version of MAME actually has the issue with the audio.
Terminate the turtle.
I'm gonna have to check and see if I can find any kind of like changelog that mentions this game. It's unlikely, but well, the thing is, the light works now in the cave, which MAME did not emulate that properly for a long time. Which means they may have actually touched this game for the first time in years to fix that bug, although it still has the explosion bug. Like when you kill enemies, the explosion has like a little gap in between. Let me just double check that's still there. Let me make sure that's still there. It's still there, yeah. Yeah, you can still see the gaps. That bug has been in MAME since forever. But at least they fixed the light bug in the tunnel. Now the light actually illuminates the turtles correctly when they pass by.
Pizza time.
The issue is that this bug is so subtle, you barely even notice it. I might have to, yeah, I gotta check MAME change logs and see at what point did they make changes to this game. Because that light bug, that had to be a more recent fix. I've been playing this game for many years, and that shit has been broken for many years. So at some point, I think, you know, when I changed to Linux, and, you know, I wound up updating MAME because obviously I'm not using the Windows version. I'm using the Linux build of MAME. And just inevitably, you're going to wind up getting the most recent version. He's got no range on that. He's got no range. No range. Oh, I want to show you. So yeah, let's come here. Yeah, sound output stereo. So I want to show this real quick. So this is my current tier list for the game, which I know a lot of people will probably look at this and be like, most people will probably see this and say, okay, Donnie makes sense, but what the hell with the rest of them? So here's why I think the turtles are like this. I'm gonna give like the very short version of this. I'm not gonna give like, because I actually have a text file that has like more in-depth explanations for why I placed them like this. But the short versions of this is that Donnie's strengths matter more for this game, and his weaknesses are so minor as to be negligible. He has a level of privilege that no other turtle has, so that's why he's up there. Obviously, I'm giving you a very ultra condensed version here. Next up, Leo has really solid benefits. He has good range, second only to Donnie. Good strike speed. Falling strike is one of the most important moves of the game, and he has a really good one. He also has the safest special, so it's harder for enemies to punish him. And then he has some other kind of like weird niche benefits, like horizontal slash attacking behind him, so he gets like some backwards coverage from that. Raph is a very interesting case because Raph actually does not have the sidekick. He does not have the random sidekick that the other turtles have. And that's actually really good because that sidekick is trash, which means Raph's strikes are the most consistent and reliable in the game. They all have a good enough range to hit enemies at the distance that enemies usually hover around, which means Raph is far less likely to miss enemies that are like in front of him. There are very few exceptions to that. And Raph also has this deceptively longer range than you might think because he has a forward lean in his standing position. He leans forward, which actually increases his attack range. But at the same time, it does not increase his hurt box. So when he leans forward, part of his front side is intangible because his hurt box is actually further behind than what you might think. So he gains the range benefit from his forward lean, but does not gain the disadvantage of having his hurt box move forward as well. That being said, Raph's Falling Strike is trash, and I got killed for it just now, as you saw. Donnie and Leo definitely would have been safe in that scenario because their weapons have more range. The only thing is Raph has the worst special in the game, so it's not great, but his other properties matter more for the game. They're more important. And then Mikey is at the bottom specifically because his Falling Strike is also really bad, like Raph's. Terrible range. He can't really use it to wall enemies out defensively the way Donnie and Leo can. And unlike Raph, he has the sidekick, which means his strikes are not as consistently safe as Raph's. On top of that, his special, it is better than Raph's, but it's also risky because when he does it, he moves forward, so he basically puts himself head first into danger, quite literally, and he gets hit out of it a lot because of that. Also, his hurt box gets wider, which means not only can he get hit from the front, he can get punished a lot from the front for using a special, but sometimes enemies can hit him from behind. Even though Mikey's moving away from them, because his hurt box gets wider, sometimes enemies hit you from behind. So Mikey gets punished more often for his special. And there you go. Very brief explanation of my tier list for the game. That being said, you might have noticed that B tier was the lowest tier, which means there are no bad turtles in this game. They're all good. It's just that Mikey happens to be the worst, in my opinion, currently. So yeah, this move, the Falling Strike, this move is very important. And Raph and Mikey just... the short range is terrible, so... that's a pretty big disadvantage for the two of them. But Raph at least has the strike advantages that Mikey does not have. And that makes him a safer character. For the longest time, I thought Raph was the worst turtle in the game. I really thought he was the worst turtle because his special was just really trash. And I didn't realize that he didn't have the sidekick. And I hadn't learned about whiff cancel at that time. So strikes were I didn't use strikes as much. They weren't as important of an aspect in the game because when you use strikes, you can randomly get throws and slams like that, and sometimes that can get you into trouble. So I didn't use strikes as much. So Raph's benefits on his strikes were not as important to me as the special was. And Mikey clearly had a better special than Raph, so I thought Mikey was the better character. But as I learned more about the game, I realized, holy shit, strikes are phenomenal when you use whiff cancel to make them safe, and Falling Strike was much more important than I thought it was years ago. And once I figured that out, I'm like, oh yeah. And then once I learned about the forward lean that Raph has, so like you see here, he's leaning forward. If I move like up or down, his hurt box is more in line with this sprite. So just picture like a tall rectangle, right? So his sprite, it more closely matches his hurt box. If I stop moving, his sprite leans forward, but his hurt box is still the same hurt box as when he's like this. So that means his front portion cannot be hit. But he gains the range benefit on his attacks from that forward lean.
Prepare to die.
And with no sidekick, he has this version of the sidekick, the landing one, but he doesn't have the random one from strikes. And that gets the other turtles into trouble if you don't whiff cancel it. And sometimes, even if you do whiff cancel it, sometimes you still get hit if you don't time it right. So, yeah, I've learned a lot over the years about like what actually matters in this game, and like the differences between the turtles, the not just the obvious differences, but the subtle differences. And those subtle differences can have a major impact on how good they are.
Terminate the turtle.
Okay, there's 12 hits there. So when you're playing on very hard mode, all the boss health is higher than it is on difficulty mode affects boss health essentially. So they have the most amount of health on the hardest difficulty. And I'm using the Falling Strike because it is the strongest move in the game by a lot. It's stronger,
Pizza time.
considerably stronger than everything else.
Alley Cat Blues.
Okay. Oh, Donnie is also strong here. Yep, he was the best in the first Turtles game, and he's the best here. And he's also the best in a number of other games. But not every game. He's not the best. Like for example, in Shredder's Revenge, he's not the best. It's weird. Raph became so strong. Yeah, Raph became strong because of his speed. Speed wound up being a bigger factor in that game. And then the attack the damage differences between turtles, it wasn't good enough to like overcome the advantages in speed that he had. So, and also his special, they improved his special. Like his special in the console version is not as shit as it is in this version. It's actually the startup and the recovery are much better in that one. So he doesn't get punished as much in that game for it. Yeah, but the random throws make you dislike the game. Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing: the activation of the throws is random. However, you can actually manipulate the recovery of them. So you can control how many slams you get if you time your button presses, and you can actually cancel the recovery of the throw animation if you time your button press. You can cancel it. So there is a little bit of a skill aspect to it. The best thing to do, honestly, is to use strikes strategically, so that if you get, you basically want to use strikes in a way where if you get like a random throw, the other enemies are out of position and they can't punish you for it. It's not always easy to account for that. But that is the ideal scenario. You want to make sure that other enemies are out of position so that if you happen to get a throw, they can't punish you. And one of the easier ways to do that is to make sure enemies are not all clumped in the same spot. Like if you have like some enemies behind other enemies, you can hit the one in front and throw them, and the others are still trying to catch up to you. Another way you can do it is when you do strikes, try to use the maximum range of the strike, because when you throw the enemy, the enemy just basically gets magnetized to you from far away. if you're further away from them. So that'll make it so that the other enemies are also further away from you because you're using the full range of your strike. So there are ways to mitigate the RNG. There are ways to deal with it that are skill based. But yeah, I kind of wish they weren't random. I personally wish that you could do them manually and that they weren't as powerful. Like make them like nerf them so that they're not as powerful, or make it so that it's riskier to get the grab and then keep the power the same, but just make it manual, right? You know, something like that. That's how I would change it. How did I learn about how the hurt box are? A lot of testing. I did test. So actually, what I did specifically is in Starbase. At the end of Starbase, there is a section where there are 2 lasers shooting out of the wall, and those 2 lasers have a consistent vertical hitbox that goes from the top to the bottom. So I just did frame by frame testing, and I just counted the frames from when I was like how many frames I would move forward and at what point Raph would get hit. And then I compared that with his sprites, the sprite differences. I should have written down the numbers because I didn't actually write down the numbers. But I think Raph's, I think his forward lean, I think it's like a 3 or 4 pixel difference or something like that. I should have written down the numbers. But yeah, that's how I tested it. Because the lasers are very consistent, so it makes it very easy to figure that out. That's how I figured out that, like, literally, like, you try and hit his nose and it doesn't hit him. Yeah, and in the yeah, his special did a lot of damage in that version. In this version, specials just instantly kill the foot ninja, so they don't actually have any damage differences, the specials. Like between the turtles, they all do the same damage. Yeah, Leo, there was a point in time where I thought Leo was like one of the worst turtles too. But then as I learned more important aspects of the game, turns out Leo is like really fucking good. You just got to know what is actually important in the game. If you don't know what's important in the game, it's very easy to fall into the trap of, oh, Leo's special is worse than Mikey's and Donnie's, right? Even though I think now, currently, I would say Leo's special is better than Mikey's, but not as good as Donnie's. But back in the day, I thought it was worse. I thought it was worse than, and at that time, I thought specials were like the main determining factor as to like which turtles were better. Turns out it's not that simple. But yeah, the Super Nintendo version is not even the same game, honestly. It's a completely different game. It's a different game with the Turtles in Time coat of paint on it. With like a reduced number of sprites, lower audio quality, completely different moves, different properties of some of the moves. Some of the same moves that they have different properties. That's fine, there's a pizza right there. But yeah, the game is completely different. It's not the same game at all.
Pizza time.
Yeah, some moves like the reverse shoulder, some moves don't even exist. Like there's no DP, there's no reverse shoulder. Falling strike works completely differently. Manual throws and slams are possible in the console one. Manual dashing. And for the most part, I don't really like the console version, to be honest. Well, let me not say that. I like it for what it is as its own game. I don't think it's a good Turtles in Time. I think it's a good TMNT game, but this game is Turtles in Time. And this game is much better in my opinion. This game right here is Turtles in Time. The console version is a TMNT game that looks like Turtles in Time, and it's fun to play. And that's how I feel about the console one. It's fun to play, it's a different game. It's not Turtles in Time. I just treat it as a different game, and I enjoy it as a different game. I do like that it has a Technodrome level added to it. I think that was cool, and I think it makes more sense than having Shredder pop up randomly in the middle of the fucking sewer. I don't know what they were smoking when they decided to do that for this one. It's kind of funny. Obviously, it's got that like old school game, like that old school jank charm to it. You know, kind of like the X-Men Welcome to Die. It's like, it's stupid, but like, it's got that janky charm that makes you laugh.
I'm going to mangle you green slime balls.
Now, Raph actually has an advantage against Metalhead here. I think Raph and Mikey both have this advantage over Leo and Donnie. So, with Metalhead, when you punish his jump kick, and if you time your falling strike correctly, you can hit him from behind. Now, when you hit him from behind, you see he has a different sprite when you hit him in his back. Metalhead is completely incapable of doing an invincible counterattack if you hit him in the back. As opposed to hitting him in the front, he can do an invincible counterattack. Raph's falling strike and Mikey's are fast enough that they can do a double hit on his back, completely nullifying the possibility of an invincible counterattack. With Leo and Donnie, however, their falling strikes, the interval is slow enough that Metalhead is actually able to turn around before the second hit. And sometimes, when he turns around, he can do that invincible counterattack to Leo and Donnie. It doesn't happen that much, so it's not a huge deal, but it is a subtle difference that, you know, with Raph and Mikey, they can do that and kind of just completely shut down Metalhead. Play the SNES version first. Where did the hit stun go? Yeah, it was the other way around. Arcade version came first. Personally, so I feel two ways about this, because like obviously if you play Shredder's Revenge is kind of more like the console Turtles in Time with the hit stun, right? And like obviously a lot of other beat 'em up games were like this too, right? I like both. The way that it's done in like the console version and like Shredder's Revenge, probably better for gaming in the long term, if I'm honest. However, I do like the fact that the way the hit stun works in this game, you have to time your button presses with a certain cadence, which takes, you know, it's not a lot of skill, but it takes some skill, right? It's kind of like an anti-mashing measure. Because like in those games, you can just mash the button as fast as possible and you get the combo. It doesn't fail. In this game, you don't really combo enemies so much as you hit them and then you try and time your next button press to hit them when their invincibility like recovery ends. So you're basically kind of like restarting the same combo over and over. And that takes a timing that you don't get if you just mash the button. If you just mash the button, a lot of times enemies can counterattack you. And I do like that aspect. So it's an anti-mashing measure, and I like it for that. Yeah, the Super Nintendo version, I would say, I would agree with you. It does feel more functional as a beat 'em up in terms of like getting rid of the random throws and the hit and adding the hit stun and stuff. But the fact that the game is so easy, it's so easy. That's my biggest problem with the game. It's so easy. It's so easy. Like the enemies, they're not actually aggressive. They don't actually try and kill you. Like in this game, the enemies will swarm you and they will attack you and they don't give a fuck. They will get behind you and they will do all the things to you. Super Nintendo, the enemies they just kind of dance around you. They're just dancing. They just want to do a little mambo. That's it. So it's like, if you want to play a dancing game, then yeah, Super Nintendo version, great. It's a dancing game. These dudes are your backup dancers, and like you can put on a show. You put on a show for other people, right? But if you want to fight some fucking ninja robots, you got to play the arcade one. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you actually want to fight some dudes, like, yeah. Surprised that one missed. Oh, I love it when a whole bunch of them just spawn together like that in one spot. And get like 3 at once. Okay, epilepsy warning, lots of screen flashing. Lots of screen flashing. Literally dash special from left to yeah, that's the thing. Cause like in this game you have your like lunge kick, right? Like this move right here. This move is really good. It has the same damage as like the special and the DP, right? It has the same damage and it has movement. Same thing with the slide kick as well. But the thing is, in this game, you don't have manual dashing, which means you can't just spam that move or those 2 moves. You actually need to have the space to get a running start, and that makes it fair. But in the console version, you can just dash whenever and then do the move and just do that over and over. And the enemies, because they're dancing, they ain't attacking, they're dancing. They will just block that shit with their face. Okay, just all the slams. Why not? That looked kind of funky. Throw into the like immediately into reverse shoulder. Yeah, the random shredder appearance. Man, you gotta love that old school jank. It's just as janky as Magneto in X-Men Welcome to Die. It's just as jank as that. It might even be more jank because at least Magneto appeared like flying like next to you. But this was just like a fucking mental like apparently Shredder has telepathy and he can just mentally fucking project his image into your mind. It's fucking crazy, dude. Yeah, the shoulder throw, the shoulder like the shoulder like dash shoulder into a throw or slam, cuz like slam like in that game the slam also like it also just like kills things that are near you, so like if you've ever seen like the speed run of the console version, it's like super busted. Yeah, when you get slams like that, you know, you can choose to end it early, or you can choose to do 2 slams, 3 or 4, or even 1, depending on the situation. And that makes the slam a little bit safer. You know, you have to kind of examine the battlefield and say, okay, where are the enemies? What enemies are here? What are they trying to do? Should I drop the slam or should I keep it going? And that's actually why I like slam in this game more than the Super Nintendo one, because in the Super Nintendo one, it just automatically does like 3 slams, I think, or something like that. Or it does like 3 or 4. And you don't actually get control over how many is done. It just, you do it, you're invincible while it's going off, and it just kills everything around you. And because enemies are dancing, they're very unlikely to punish you. In this game, they're more likely to punish you, so you have to be more strategic about how many slams you do. Okay. Still a couple here. Yeah, they fixed the light at some point. This light, by the way, has been fixed on Final Burn Neo for like a long time. It's been busted on MAME for far longer. Also, the Cowabunga collection displays the light correctly. It also displays the enemy explosion. Like if I pause the game here, let me see it. You see those gaps in the explosion? That's not in the original game on the arcade board. And when you play in Cowabunga collection, this explosion looks correct. But the audio sync is fucked up. So you still have a problem with the timer bomb. It seems like they just cannot get emulation for this game perfect. For some reason, everybody struggles with something trying to emulate this game. There's at least one thing that's not being done correctly. And guess what? Most people, at least with the audio sync, most people don't know about that because it's so fucking subtle. It's subtle. The only reason I found out about it is because when I've tried to play this game on Fightcade and then subsequently Cowabunga collection, I was having problems dodging the timer bomb because it wasn't dropping at the right moment. That's not when it's supposed to drop. It's not supposed to drop at that moment. And I know that's the case because I've seen it on arcade. The actual original arcade board, I know when it's supposed to drop. This is a regression. If it's not a setting thing, I think this is a MAME regression. They actually caused a fucking regression in this game. Unless there is some setting that I missed somehow. I don't know what setting that could possibly be, but there is a fucking regression. Bro. Wow. Bro, if I die here because fucking DP didn't come out and I got hit 3 times there. I wasn't even supposed to fight this group. supposed to despawn them. Yeah, we don't want that.
Pizza time.
Gotta recover from that. Okay. Managed to recover from that. Fuck. Alright. Yeah, the rock soldiers. Yeah, you can interrupt the rock soldiers with in that version. In this version they don't actually have that dash. They don't have that dash at all. They have instead other bullshit that you have to contend with. Cowabunga version it's the arcade version, except it has worse online than Fightcade does. And the music sync is off very slightly. And I have a video showcasing the difference between MAME and Cowabunga Collection. Otherwise, the game is pretty accurate. Like the light in the tunnel works correctly, and the explosion works correctly. And as far as I can tell, everything else works the way it's supposed to. Except I did notice an anomaly. When the level loads, the actual graphics of like the first frame, when the level loads, like the first 1 or 2 frames, does not match arcade. I don't know why that is, but as far as the gameplay, everything seems to be, from what I could tell, everything seems to be in order. The only thing that I found that was not correct was the music sync problem. And I doubt there's a way to fix that in Cowabunga Collection. I don't think there's a way to fix that unless they fix the bug and update the game. Otherwise, it's a pretty good version. There might be some input delay in that version. I'm not sure. I think there might be some input delay, like a slight amount. But so it's not perfect, but it is actually a pretty damn good version. It's better than the console port they released, and like what was it? There was a Ninja Turtles game they released on GameCube in like 2003 or some shit like that. That had a port of the arcade version. Cowabunga Collection is way better than that version, for sure. Yeah, imagine practice on emulators, going to the arcade and eating the bomb. Yeah, that's the thing. Good thing I know the actual proper timing. But it's hard to find an actual arcade cabinet for this game. And yes, I am playing on a hitbox. I'm this guy right here. So just a basic hitbox. I used to play this game on an actual like a stick with like a lever. I can still play it like that. I just prefer it with the hitbox. Bro, you're gonna start some shit if you bring up Reshelled in here. You're just trying to start some shit. I don't ever want to see that. I don't ever want to see you mention that ever again. Oh yeah, by the way, this is how you fight Cement Man. Because there's a double hit. It's kind of hard to get that double hit. Technically it's more optimal, but that double hit is a little hard with Raph. It's way easier to get it with Leo. Not used to hear hitbox on arcade games. Yeah, I mean, it takes... I'm used to hitbox for a lot of different games now. I use hitbox for many different games now. So it's easy for me to adjust. There's a bit of an adjustment period, and then once you get past that, it's not a problem. Shredder's Revenge reshelled. Oh man, that is a diarrhea cocktail if I ever heard one. So the good thing about Raph, remember when I said he doesn't have the random sidekick? That means using strikes against these rock soldiers is safer. As long as you move forward, because he does, one of his attacks actually can miss. So you gotta move forward while you're doing it. But yeah, not getting the random sidekick means Raph can more safely challenge these guys from the front. Those the mallet rock soldiers, they attack from a very far range. Of course, now the group that's coming is just the regular ones. And there are multiple different ways to deal with these guys, multiple different ways that all work effectively. But I find that just doing one strike and then a special is the most safe way to deal with them. It is, and it's also a lot easier to do as far as execution. I like playing games with like a lever stick. It's just the hitbox is more optimal. Like, there's no way around it. The actuation time is faster, and because the buttons are the same, it means that you can coordinate your left and right hands easier, because there isn't any difference in the actuation time between your movement and the other button presses on your right hand. Oh, he did a preemptive strike. So something that is in this game but not in the console version, or at least I don't think it's in the console version. I don't remember it being in the console one. Enemies in this game will do what I call preemptive strikes, which is they will attack even if you're nowhere near them. And the reason they do this is just in case you move into them. They will do it randomly. And if you decide to move into them, you know, as you do when you're trying to attack them, sometimes you will just walk into their fist. And I have lost so many runs to that. It's insane. Still struggle to do reverse shoulder. Seeing me do it easily triggers you. Well, I practiced a lot. I practiced the fuck out of it. I will say there is actually an advantage on arcade sticks over hitbox regarding the reverse shoulder. It's a very niche advantage, which is why I still prefer the hitbox. But the advantage is there. So arcade stick actually has something over, and it's not something that you can't do, it's something that's just easier on the lever. Okay. I'm dodging the timer bomb even though it's not dropping at the correct moment. So here's the thing, right? You can actually chain multiple reverse shoulders in the same direction. And the way you do that is you do it. Oh, let me kill these guys first. You do one, right? And then when it ends, you turn around and then you do another one. Right? And then you turn around and then you do another one. And you can keep chaining reverse shoulders in the same direction if you keep turning around and you keep doing them like that. Now, in order to do a reverse shoulder, you need your stick, right, in neutral, because it does not work if you're just holding one direction and then switch instantly to the other direction. It won't come out. You need to pass through neutral. Now, when you're trying to do this on a lever, you necessarily have to pass through neutral. If you're holding left and you're moving to the right, you have to pass through neutral to get from left to right. However, on a hitbox, you don't have to pass through neutral to do that. Which means it is easier to fail the repeated reverse shoulders on a hitbox than on the arcade stick. Now, there are scenarios where doing multiple reverse shoulders in the same direction is useful, but it's not strictly required to be good at this game. So, in terms of net benefit, I would say the hitbox is still a net positive over the lever. That was a preemptive strike he just did. Wait, see, you see how I wasn't in front of him and he tossed his weapon? Preemptive strike. They do it just in case you walk in front of them. It's still kind of cold in here, I'm not gonna lie. I turned the heater on, but I didn't put it up where I normally do because I want to kind of like conserve energy. Especially since a lot of people are going to be using the heater today. Because there's a big like cold snap where I live right now. So it's going to put a drain on the electric grid if everybody's using the heat at the same time. But I'm still a little cold. I guess I gotta put that heat up just a little bit. Come on. Come on, guy. Grab the pizza early because these guys can hit me with the swing. Okay, I want to get rid of the sword guy. There we go. Okay, I shouldn't do that when they're all bunched up like that, because some of them will be behind the others. Okay. Okay, Toka. Calm down. Bro, the luck they're giving me right now is horrible. Cooperate. Excuse me? Wow. That's what happens when they don't cooperate. The luck they gave me, they were so out of sync and doing just the stupidest things, and they were just so like out of position. It's fine, I'll just keep going. Yep, now he dies. Motherfucker. That's fine. I can still technically 1cc. This is just a test stream anyway, just making sure YouTube is
Bury my shell.
making sure YouTube is behaving. Oh, let me not pause there. Yeah, the pirate thing, that was a cool touch in the console version. Yeah, but the actual fight in the arcade version is more interesting. Yeah, that was exceptionally bad luck. Freaking sword guy, get over here. All right. I want to get the guy with the girder, but I need to make sure the sword guy is not a problem, so I'm trying to get him first so that I can fight the guy with the girder more effectively. But the sword guy is being a little stinker. that one worked out because he was in a good position for me. Bang, 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 bang. The other guy did, bro. So it is possible to despawn enemies that come from behind you. Normally, when they spawn, if you move the screen forward, you can despawn them and you don't have to fight them. However, normally, they're moving fast enough that in order to despawn them, you have to move the screen forward more. But the guy, the rock soldier that appeared behind me that had the gun, he stopped moving because he shot his gun. I moved the screen forward by like 2 pixels or something tiny like that. And that was enough to despawn him. That's crazy. That small amount was enough to despawn that guy. Gotta get that pizza before, because like what you don't want is to delay getting the pizza so much and that they hit you to the right and scroll the screen and then they scroll the pizza off screen. You don't want that. Damn it. Okay, this dodging the timer bomb on this stage, like if I don't pause the game, it's gonna be a lot harder. Because the bottom of the screen is lower. Or not as low, I should say. It's not as low as the other stages. Let's see. It wasn't that loop. Wasn't that loop. Oh, that sucks. It's gotta be this loop. Sunset Riding Turtles, yep. I would have died there. Yeah, see? So because the bottom of the screen is not as low as the other stages, it's harder to react to the bomb. That's fine. So anyway, I don't have time to continue. I don't have time to keep going. That's pretty much all the time I got. I need to figure out what's going on. I think it might be the MAME version. I'm gonna check the change logs of MAME and see if they touch this game at all. But yeah, I got testing to do because I cannot play the challenge that I want to do if the music is not behaving correctly. So I need to make sure that all of that stuff is in order. At least I solved the audio capture problem. Like switching to Linux, it took me time to learn how to capture any kind of audio at all. But then I learned how to capture other stuff, and it was pretty simple. And then when I tried doing that with MAME, it just wasn't working. So I had to figure out some other method to do it. And then finally I figured out how to do it, and now there's some other fucking problem. So, well, at least if I come here, yeah, no dropped frames, and stream status is healthy, completely healthy on YouTube. So, yeah, so I'd say it's pretty stable. It works pretty well. So, I might just switch over to YouTube, honestly. I gotta like check some things and make sure they work with YouTube, but like, yeah, I might just switch over. But anyway, that's all I have time for. So, yeah. So anyone who wants to learn the game, yeah, feel free to like ask questions or whatever. I'm definitely always open to like teaching people. And yeah, look forward to that. Like whenever I solve the problem, it's gonna be single button challenge. Um, I'm gonna start out on easy mode because I don't know how feasible the challenge actually is. Um, so it's gonna be no 2-button attacks except for escaping hit stun, and dodging the timer bomb, and that's it. But every other attack, like when I'm like attacking enemies and bosses, like it's single button attacks only. Um, and that's what I got in the pipeline for this game. Because I've already done like Deathless on very hard, max rank. I've already done all that stuff. So the only other challenges I can think of, other than speedrunning, which I've already done, I don't want to go back to that, would be just handicapping myself, like just imposing restrictions. That's like next, just imposing restrictions. So anyway, you guys have a good rest of your day, and yeah, I'll catch you next time. Take it easy.